Esther was a beautiful young woman who lived in a quiet town. Everyone loved her because she was kind and hardworking, but there was one problem in her life. Every relationship she had never lasted long. Whenever a man wanted to marry her, something strange would happen and the relationship would suddenly end. Esther did not understand why, but deep in her heart, she knew something was wrong. For many years, she had been having a strange dream. In the dream, she always found herself standing near a big river at night. The moon would shine on the water, and everything would be very quiet. Then a tall man would appear from the river. He was handsome, but there was something very frightening about his eyes. The man would walk toward Esther slowly and say in a calm voice, "Why are you trying to leave me?" Esther would feel confused. "Leave you? I don't even know you." The man would smile strangely and say, "You are my wife." Esther would suddenly wake up with fear. Her heart would beat fast and her body would be covered with sweat. At first, she thought it was just a normal nightmare, but the dream kept coming back again and again. One day, Esther met a man named David. David loved her deeply and wanted to marry her. For the first time in years, Esther felt happy. She believed her life was finally going to change. But one night, David called her sounding very scared. He said, "Esther, I had a very strange dream." Esther's heart skipped. "What dream?" David explained that in his dream, a tall man came out of a river and warned him. The man said, "Leave Esther alone. She is already married to me." David said the man's eyes were glowing with anger. Esther felt cold fear run through her body, just like the man in her dreams. A few days later, David ended the relationship. He said he could not continue because the dreams were too frightening. Esther cried for many nights. She began to wonder if something supernatural was happening.
One evening, Esther decided to tell her mother everything. Her mother listened quietly. When Esther finished speaking, her mother's face suddenly became serious. After a long silence, she said something shocking. "There is something you need to know. Years ago, when Esther was a small child, she became very sick and almost died. Her parents had taken her to a spiritual river for help. During the ritual, the spiritual priest told them something strange. He said a spirit from the river had claimed Esther as his wife. At that time, Esther's parents did not believe it. They thought it was just a story. But now the strange dreams and broken relationships began to make sense. Esther felt tears fall from her eyes. "Does that mean I can never marry?" Her mother held her hand tightly. "Only if the spiritual bond is broken."
Esther went to see a powerful pastor who was known for spiritual deliverance. When the pastor started praying for her, something very strange happened. Esther suddenly fell to the ground. Her voice changed and became deep and angry. The people in the room were shocked. The pastor continued praying loudly, "Release her." Esther's body began shaking violently. The strange voice shouted again, "She is my wife. I will never leave her." The prayers continued for hours. Finally, Esther became silent and fainted. When she woke up, the pastor smiled. "The spirit has left."
That night, Esther had the dream again. She stood beside the same river. The mysterious man appeared one last time, but this time he looked weak and angry. He stared at Esther for a long time. Then he spoke slowly. "They have broken our bond." The wind blew across the water. The man slowly disappeared into the river, and the dream ended. After that night, Esther never saw the mysterious man again. The strange dreams stopped. Her life finally became peaceful. Months later, Esther met a kind and loving man named Michael. This time there were no nightmares, no strange warnings, nothing mysterious. 2 years later, they got married happily, and Esther finally lived the life she had always dreamed of. The spiritual husband was gone forever. The end.
Hi everyone, please support and subscribe to the I Am Joyce's YouTube channel. Your support means everything. Thanks for subscribing.